Alright, Diablo 4 has been out for over a year now. We even got an expansion, but we still haven't figured out how to get to the secret cow level. Or maybe we can't, yet, but that might change, because Blizzard seemingly added the next few quest items to the game. So let's put it all on the table and go over everything we know, everything we need to look into, and over that one weird side quest that you probably already know about and that might have nothing to do with the level, but we won't know for sure until we solve the puzzle. From the get-go, people figured out that the Oxen God statues in Khadbardu had to be involved. Initially you can only interact with one, which gives you a clue about presenting a worthy offering cleansed in these waters to gain a blessing, and a nearby tablet instructs you to spill their blood to be deemed worthy. These relics were data mined almost as soon as the game came out, and we now also know that the bloody wooden shard will drop either in Kyrgyzstan or Hawazar, the intricate metallic fragment in the dry steppes, and the Musty Tome either in Skosglen or the Fractured Peaks. These items seem to be a reference to the previous games, as in Diablo 2 you needed the bird's leg, to which the wooden shard seems to be a reference, and combine that with the Scroll of Town portal, which might be the Musty Tome in the Horadric cube, which, while you get it by now, could be that intricate metallic fragment. Then later in Diablo 3 you needed word spell and crafting plans to craft a staff to access Whimsyshire, which was like the secret cow level but with unicorns and rainbows. And later they also added not the cow level, for which you drop a bovine bardiche into Kanai's cube. But I digress, let's get back to our search. To get the 3 relics we need to follow the old tablet's clue and spill their blood. There, in this case, means cows, and you're gonna need to hunt down 666 within 666,666 seconds, which is about 7 days and 17 hours, otherwise the counter resets. Originally, people assumed that there was a cooldown after getting your first relic, as the second one didn't seem to drop straight away, but that turned out to be a bit more complex. See, the first one is a guaranteed drop, the next ones are all up to RNG, but there is a workaround. If you create another character, you get another guaranteed drop, and since we know in which zones we need to farm for which relic, we can basically target farm them. Maxroll has an excellent guide on where to farm them by the way, and if you need even more help, I highly recommend checking out the cow level Discord, as the people there are the ones who have actually discovered every single step so far. Once you have all 3 relics, go back to the fountain in Khadbardu, drop them in the water and pick them back up. Every time you cleanse one like this, one of the Oxen God statues will become interactable, so talk to them with the newly cleansed relic in your inventory, and once you've covered all 3, a strange key will drop. This key is needed to unlock the Forlorn Hovel in Skosglen, which is another location that was data mined early on. Once inside, you'll find a bunch of cows, which will drop a stamina potion once you kill all of them. And that's where we're at right now. The working theory is that the potion needs to be used in a specific location or maybe under specific circumstances, but we don't know which ones yet. Now, I mentioned that the Vessel of Hatred introduced new items. Well, there's 4 to be exact, and they too seem to be a reference to the previous games, as we can now obtain a Rusted Old Bell, a Jabbering Gemstone, a Crooked Staff and a Rusted Bardiche. And to get to these, we're gonna have to follow the lore of Lord Wakax, whose lore items can be found in the new zone. I will put a link in the description to Volk, which covers all of the steps you'll need to go through, and this time they're slightly more complex than killing 666 cows in a set time frame. First, we're gonna need to follow the accession of Lord Wakax, which will have you seek out 12 bird statues. Like any other scenery, these are really easy to miss, and to make matters worse, you're gonna need to track down 12 in a specific order. Once you manage this though, you'll get a Rusted Bell, which befittingly has a W carved on it. Next is the Jabbering Gemstone, which is a throwback to Diablo's 3 Jabbering Gemstone and should be relatively short to obtain. All you need to do is visit 3 graves just south of the Kuras docks and emote thanks to the middle one, then to the one to the left and finally to the one to the right. That's it. Then we get to the Crooked Staff, or if you played Diablo 3, the Staff of Herding, and this one is gonna get weird. You're gonna need to defeat an elite Lakuni called Blood Lightning, but you're gonna have to do it with a basic attack. Not the basic attack you might have on your bar now though. No, you're gonna have to use the one you get before you spend any skill points. So unallocate your entire skill tree and make sure you also don't have any item equipped that grants you skill ranks. And you might want to dismiss your mercenaries, as they can also prevent the item from dropping. That brings us to 3 more relics, but unlike last time, this time we're gonna need to corrupt them. For this, you're gonna need to round up 3 Cordycepic zombies that need to be defeated close to each other. So you're gonna need to round up all 3 without killing them, which can be done solo, but should be easier with multiple people. And once you kill them, black mushrooms should spawn, which again is a bit of a throwback to Diablo 3's Whimsyshire. Once these spawn, drop your relics on top and they'll get a black aura indicated that they've been corrupted. Now that you've ruined 3 perfectly fine relics, you're gonna need to visit the Okabo temple to the southeast of the Kuraz Bazaar. There you'll want to offer your corrupted relics by interacting with each of the 3 braziers, which would then give you an unusual key, which is needed to get through a wall in the Forlorn Burrow cellar. And just like the Forlorn Hovel, you'll need to kill a bunch of cows, which will then drop the Rusted Bardiche. And just like the stamina potion, this is where we're stuck. You can equip the Bardiche, but no one's figured out what to do with it just yet. People have been data mining the game since the start to get the next set of clues, but nothing came from those just yet. Devs have also been teasing potential clues throughout this past year, but I doubt that they will ever give us a definitive clue that would spoil the hunt for the secret cow level. But there's one more thing, which might turn out to be a huge nothing burger, but is worth including just in case. When the game was released, there was another side quest involving a lucky coin and the Ring of Misfortune, which was solved quite a while ago. In short, you can get a lucky coin by being under the effects of a greed shine and then looting an NPC that was slain by a monster. This is somewhat of a mini-event that is far more common than you might realize, and you've probably ran past dozens of those already. If you try to loot this NPC, you have a chance, not a guarantee, to get a lucky coin. Now, this is a bit annoying because the greed shine has the shortest buff duration of them all, so you might have to try a couple of times. The coin drop is affected by your lucky hit chance though, so it's highly recommended that you stack some before going for this side quest. Now, once you have the coin, you can visit a wishing well in Seregar near Skosklen. If you're alone and you drop in your coin, you'll get a well-wisher title. But if you bring one of each class, each with their own coin, there is a bit more to this. Now, I have to say that before the expansion, you only needed 5 classes, but there's actually 6 runes near the well, 1 for each different class. So there might be something more to the well now that we have a 6th one. But basically, all of you will need to gather near the well and drop in your coin one by one. If you are on a different map IP, you can zone to each other by getting invited to the same party, by the way, but due to there being a limit of 4 people per party, one person will have to leave to get a 5th to your location. When the first person drops in their coin, you complete a well-wisher achievement I already mentioned. Then, when the second drops in theirs, everyone gets an unlucky debuff, lowering your lucky hit chance by 6.66%. After 3 coins, the party will get stunned and attacked by snakes and locusts. Then after 4, hellfire will rain down from the sky. And then finally, the 5th lucky coin will drop the Ring of Misfortune. Like the Bardiche, you can actually equip the ring, and its stats are equally as bad. They grant plus 13 to every single one, and there is a lucky hit affix that will grant you a 100% chance to lose all of your resources when hitting an enemy. Lastly, you will also get a debuff that seems to do nothing except tell you that you feel a sense of dread. Now, it's been presumed that this is a side quest and that the ring is basically a collectible. This seems plausible to me, as it might have shown up differently in the data mining if it were related to the cow level. And unlike the other questlines, you need multiple people to get the ring. But regardless, I felt it was important to mention just in case it turns out to be a step later on. So where does that leave us? Well, we have a stamina push that we don't know how to use, and a bovine bardiche that we don't know what to do with. It might be possible that we won't need to be able to use either, and that like in previous games, they need to be combined in some sort of contraption. The people on the Discord are combing through every single item and effect that has been data mined already, but this is both going to take time and will lead to a lot of loose ends. It's also very possible that there is still a third part to the quest chain that simply hasn't been put into the game yet, but once we figured out what needs to happen next, I'll be sure to update you all. Oh, and just one more thing. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons. I recently swapped games, so I'm basically starting all over on YouTube again. If you'd like to see me live stream, make sure to also follow me on Twitch. I've been on a bit of a hiatus on there, but I have about 800 more hours of farming to do because I want to try every single build on every single class, just like I did for my Spiritborn. And I'm probably gonna do that live.